So, a little over a month ago, by the time you watch this, that is, a little over a month ago, by the time you watch this, this will be on the last Friday in July that you watch this. You know, I did a video back on the 19th of June, which is when I'm recording this, which you'll be seeing on July 30th. But I did a video on June 19th, which, premiered on Sunday, Father's Day, June. But anyway, I did a video around that time frame talking about Ratchet and Clank and the new game in, possible romance between Ratchet and Rivet. And the one thing I didn't talk about there, but I kind of talked about it at the beginning, but I didn't, talk about, how it connects with the game and all that, is the fact that, a lot of people have PS5s and Xbox Series X and S's, but a lot of people don't. And it's all due to the fact that certain components and chips have, yet to be in regular supply, obviously due to the pandemic and everything. And I basically stated at the beginning, before I got into the main topic of the video, I basically talked about the fact that I think what Sony and Microsoft should have done is, follow in the footsteps of some of the movie studios out there, and that's just hold off on the release dates of these systems until at least this year, at least this time point where we are now, because that way at least things would be a little clearer. We have a better idea of what direction we'd be going in, and as evident, things would be a lot smoother in deliveries and transmissions, if you will, of getting certain components and chips and all that for these consoles to get them into the hands of consumers that want them. But besides that, there's also something that really bugs me, and I know I'm not the only one. You see, you have all these games that were promoted for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, but mostly PS5. Like Ratchet and Clank and a few others. And what really gets me is, had Sony planned out, like I said, planned out better and been more prepped about what was going to happen, with the release of the system, then there's no doubt that everybody, including myself, would be playing Rift Apart right now. But that's not the case. So if I'm Sony, and hopefully they've been thinking about this, if I'm Sony, to make up for the fact that not everybody's playing this game, maybe I need to consider doing a PS4 version. Now hear me out. I know that this game was meant to show off the graphical capabilities and all that, of the PS5. Basically it was built to be one of those games that really showed off everything that the PS5 is about. I get that. From a graphical standpoint, engines, stuff like that, I get it. Load times and everything, I get it. But here's the thing. It's not the first time I think Sony or any, a company has, released a game that's originally intended for the newer consoles to show off what that console can do, on the previous generation console. It's not the first time. There have been several PS4 games, either it's Sony games or third-party games that were exclusive to PS4, but then later on you would see show up on the PS3. Same with, Microsoft's Xbox One. Some of those games showed up on the 360. Why? Because of the fact that not everybody got their hands on the newer consoles when they came out until supply and demand was met in a proper and more equal way. So, basically to make up for the fact that they wanted people to, play these games and give the feedback on them, they decided, hey, we're going to, release these games, on all older platforms, or older consoles, previous generations, as well. after they've had their time in the sun with the, showing off what the new console can do. And that's what I think, obviously Sony should consider doing with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Again, like I said, I understand why it's a PS5 exclusive, why it was touted that way. I get that. Graphical capability, showing off what the system can do and everything, I get that. But if Sony wants to make up for the fact that not everybody can play that game due to the fact that they are limited in supply for the PS5 as of right now, before they can get a regular supply and demand in, then to make up for it, I make the announcement that I'm going to release Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PS4. That's what I do. I say I'm going to put it on PS4. I'm going to make it cross-console capability between both 5 and 4, and go from there. And I do the same for other games like Dark Souls and other games that are PS5 exclusive. I do the same thing for them. Not just Ratchet and Clank or Dark Souls or the few other ones that are out there. I do it for all the PS5 exclusive games. I say, look, if I'm Sony, I go like, look, this is our way of saying we're sorry, and we're going, and by doing so, to show you that we're sorry for, not for a lot of you not getting your hands on the PS5, when you should have. We're going to release a lot of these PS5 exclusives at the time onto the PS4. That's what I think they should do. And you know what? If they do that, I'll tell you honestly, everybody that's mad at them right now, that's upset at them right now for not making sure they have plenty of supply and demand, being as well as being prepped and ready for what was to come with these console releases. A lot of those people that are mad at you right now, some of that anger will simmer down, because what you're doing is you're making up for your mistakes by releasing a lot of these console exclusive games that they wanted to play if they were able to get their hands on the consoles. You'll be basically, basically be getting back into the good graces in a way by giving them now that opportunity to play these games, but on the previous gens, maybe with cross-platforming, if you will, as an added feature. So, to me, if they want people to play the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart game, and really give the feedback on it, then they need to put it onto the PS4. They need to put it on the PS4 as well, if you will, as well as on the PlayStation Store, so that everybody can play it. Not just the ones that have the PS5, but everybody can play it. So to me, I think the obvious answer is, hey, if you want to make good with your consumers that were counting on you to make sure they were able to get PS5s, but they can't right now, they have to wait. If I was you, and that's just my stomach, I apologize for that. But if I'm them, I take Ratchet and Clank, I take Dark Souls, and I take any of the PS5 exclusives, and I make the announcement that I'm going to release them on the PS4 as a make good for not being able to allow folks to play it on the PS5 when they should have. That's what I would do. That's what I would do if I was Sony. Same thing with Microsoft and the Xbox Series X and X exclusive games. I would make good on, my part. I would make good on my part there as well by doing the same thing. But what do you guys think? Do you think Sony and even Microsoft should make good by doing this? And mostly, do you think Sony should do this, especially if they want people to play the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart game and see what everybody's been talking about and why it's one of the more critically praised games out there as we speak? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. And I am out.